U.S. President-elect Joe Biden has warned people may die if his incoming presidential administration continues to be impeded by President Trump. In Delaware, the president-elect says coordination is needed to tackle the coronavirus outbreak. He also calls Trump's refusal to acknowledge he lost the vote, despite calls to do so from both sides, totally irresponsible.
The vaccine now is because of Donald Trump. That's the reason why people are questioning the vaccine, because all the things he says and doesn't say, whether is it truthful, is it not truthful, the exaggerations. I think we're on a clear path now. We're on a clear path where the international community and national leaders in the scientific community have focused on these two vaccines. They appear to be ready for prime time, ready to be used. And if that continues along those roads, I would take the vaccine. Every major individual of any consequence in the health field is saying we can save 100,000 lives just between now and January 21st by wearing these masks. It's going to take a while for the vaccine to be able to be available, distributed, and get to people. We're talking about 350 to 400,000 people dying. I mean, what are they doing? It's totally irresponsible, irresponsible. And so I compliment the governors who stepped forward, who have been stepping forward, but also the Republican governors who stepped forward. I left out the governor of Utah, very conservative state, governor of North Dakota, and all the Democratic governors who've been doing it all along. I mean, I just ask a rhetorical question. Do you guys understand this? Does anybody understand why a governor would turn this into a political statement? It's about patriotism. It's about being patriotic. It's about saving lives, for real. This is not hyperbole. It's about being patriotic. And I think you're seeing more and more as this god-awful virus continues to spread almost unabated, that that governors are stepping up.
Well, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden expressing concern on the fight against the virus. Now looking at business here on the continent. Recent developments have shown Nigeria's Senate is planning to invoke antitrust law against MultiChoice Nigeria. This follows what the lawmakers described as failure on the part of the company to respect competitive law rules. According to the motion, which would, among others, compel the company to obey the Competitive and Consumer Protection Act of 2019. The upper chambers urged that the invocation of the antitrust law on MultiChoice would forestall the company's development into a law unto itself that can influence the economy of Nigeria, determine the nation's democracy and national life. The plan is the breakup of MultiChoice's monopoly and its services, which have hitherto allowed the company to set the bar on its own terms all of the time, even as it will also, as a ripple effect, create competitive price regimes amongst the emerging smaller companies that will reduce burden of cost of service to the subscriber. My colleague, News Central Nasir Agbalaya, joins me now for more on this. Good to have you join me, Nasir. Now, looking at this, why is the Senate up on this antitrust law on MultiChoice?
Thanks for having me, Sulaiman. Well, it's, say, long overdue, because they've been clamoring for this. People have been asking for this, that the prices, the billing of MultiChoice, some people claim it's high-handed, but they are just reacting to the market, because the cost of doing business in Nigeria is high. But on the part of the lawmakers, they want to regulate it. They want it to be more competitive so that other companies, other players also can have a chunk of the market, which MultiChoice unarguably is the major player. So by and large, the lawmakers want to reduce what they think is an alleged monopoly which MultiChoice has. But really, it is what it is. MultiChoice came to Nigeria and brought a service, and they have maintained that service over time by bringing in more and more content. Even now, they're even partnering with a good number of local producers to ensure that there is local content.
Isn't it ironic and perhaps a little bit shameful that Nigeria, that started television broadcasting on the continent, would be up on this with MultiChoice? The country should be leading or competing. What stops the country from competing in the space with MultiChoice?
I truly agree with you there. I mean, being the pioneer, Nigeria should be, the picture-perfect example of how broadcasting should be done on this continent. But over time, we have seen that things are not the way they should be. Take an example, the public broadcaster in Nigeria. I mean, millions, even billions of naira have been invested in equipment, in human resources, but look at the output compared to the private broadcasters that we have here in Nigeria. It is not at the same par. Now, you've seen many cable platforms come and go, but incidentally, this particular brand has stood the test of time. So really, Nigeria has not fulfilled what it should be fulfilling. I mean, the pioneer broadcaster on this continent, but over time have dwindled back to the shadows.
Oh, Nasir, one last one before you go. Will this have any kind of effect, positive or negative, on on MultiChoice?
Well, initially, it could rattle them a bit, but I do not foresee any major impact. Like I said, they have the market. They have the market dominance because they have been able to satisfy literally every genre of society. So with that, over time, I don't see it rattling them. But it would make them to be even more competitive. And also, it could allow more players access to the market as it is. But to really rattle them in terms of their turnover, I don't see any major changes happening.
Nasir Agbalaya, many thanks for speaking with me on this.